that's really the beginning. That's the beginning. And to know those departments that are taking not only your financial resources, but your mental resources. Because just moving does not change that. I've been here for 21 years. I'm still having to do this. So I can learn where the finances are going and to be able to build like the other people who, the rich ones over there somewhere. I'm not the rich one. I'm the one who's living on what I'm glad to have as a fixed income. Nothing is guaranteed. We all know that, you know. And then even in Costa Rica, something to be really aware of once you do decide to move and you think you have things in order. As the exchange rate drops, because there's so many dollars that are floating in the economy right now that they don't need that many dollars. And so the exchange rate has dropped. So you know what? We inadvertently are getting a pay cut. So not too long ago, I can get 700 colones for $1. So that means I could, something cost 500 colones, like a head of lettuce, I had 200 colones left, right? And so now that same head of lettuce, I'm happy if I can get it for 500 colones or $1, and I don't have anything left. So that's how you can judge that or see. So the exchange rate is a reality. Right now, it is the lowest it's been in 17 years. Right? So you need that little bit of float, and you need to really understand your current finances. Okay? So let's just start off again. First thing you need, pen. And next thing, just some note paper. And I'm saying write it down. Write it down so you can see and you can play with and you can make notes and you can ask yourself questions and you can ask, okay, so what if I dropped this, or what if I added this, or what if I fired that bill, and really get to see what your true needs are. Needs, not your wants. Because if you want to move, you need to get your want priorities together. Your want priorities. And so that's the best I can say right now, is having a plan, deciding where I want to be, and let's say whatever period of time you think you can do it, with the finances that you have, and really clean up your plans, the financial plans. And we're going to talk more about that. But I think it's not something that often comes up in the planning, but I can say that this is the most important thing, that you need to have the financial stability. You don't have to have millions. You do not. I can say I've never had $1 million, at least all at one time. Probably in my whole working life. Maybe if I found everything I've ever done, including housekeeping and whatever, selling knives or whatever, But you don't need $1 million to do this. The financial requirement for residency is $1,000 a month. That is a fixed blessed income. I'm going to say that is a blessing to have, And so it's something that, for the most part is regular. So some type of pension, right? So that you have it. And that's all you need to declare. You don't need to tell anybody, declare here, oh, well, I got this income and I got that. The more you tell about all your other stuff, well, the higher your health insurance will be here, because you have to pay for the caja too. So I'll go into bit by bit some of the expenses of living in Costa Rica. But for now, this is your starting point. Where are you now in your finances? What do you have in place right now? How much income do you have? Where are your expenses? What can you tighten up? What can you eliminate? What can you, just fill in those leaks? And there's a lot of leaks. Do some, just is a rethinking. Our number one priority that you need to have put on here on your first thing that you have to have is a emergency savings. Whether it's just $1,000, but you need to have an emergency. That's something for a rainy day. It rains 8 months out of the year in Costa Rica, so you already know it's going to be a rainy day. And then the other times it might rain. That's why it's nice to have the balcony window open, because it was raining yesterday, and this is supposedly summer. So, it's going to rain. So you need to have at least $1,000 first off saved. And then you need to get a second job. You know what your second job is? Going through your bank account and seeing where that money is going. You get a second job. It's like getting extra hours. Just stopping all those things that are leaking out. Because when all those little leaks, then when the flood comes, debt levy breaks, boop, boop. It is not funny, but that's what happens to a lot of people because they didn't have that plan. And it's not easy, but it is doable if you do everything in the right order. And so I'm talking to you really as a friend, con mucho amor, con cariño, from my heart, with love. I am not being negative. I'm being optimistic. But when people don't have a plan, that's like optimism. It's like you got all this optimism without data. So you can be as optimistic as you want, but if the numbers aren't working, the math's not mathing, it ain't gonna work. All right, so once again, I'm Sandra. This is just a coffee pick a minute, and I really hope this channel will be something that, even if you don't get an opportunity to move abroad, or you're not in a position to move to Costa Rica, even if you can visit, all of these principles will be things that will help you in your life today, because people truly are drowning in debt and they don't know how they got there, even though they have a great income. And so one of the most important things is trying to see, or not trying, making it your business to run your business. So this is going to be your business, your Costa Rica escape plan, or whatever you want to call it. We'll come up with some clever things down the line. But for now, we're going to get started and watch in a couple of days for the next video, where I'm going to talk about your health plan. Did that catch your interest? Your health plan. All right. Take care. We'll see you the next time. Ciao.